closer to us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good, but I gotta stay on silent. I had to take the dog, so I'm better stay on silent. Rosita's here too.
Oh, you got a dog.
Yeah. You know I take the dog. I'm babysitting, so I can.
Good evening, everyone. We have about 2 minutes to go, and then we're going to call the meeting into session. That gives us about 2 minutes. If you would, if you just take a moment, if you have your cell phones with you, just place those on vibrate, and we would appreciate it. And we'll get started in about a minute or so. Okay, thanks so much. Is it the office?
Yeah, I don't have one of them. I'm learning all that. Rosita's coming.
Got you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
She must have saw me digging for a pen. Done.
Thank you so much for your patience. It is now 6 o'clock, and we'd like to welcome all in attendance, as well as those who may be with us online as well. At this time, we're going to call the Town of Magnolia Park Town Council meeting of April 7th, 2026 into session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Quince.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember McConnell.
Here.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb.
Here.
And Mayor Alberry.
Here. Thank you so much. We have all present. At this time, let us stand for our invocation, please.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you for bringing us together tonight, Lord God Almighty. Thank you for guiding us in our decision making for the people. Thank you, Lord God Almighty, for all you have done and all you are going to do. It is in the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, Thank you so much. You may be seated. So at this time, we're going to attend to our agenda. Are there any additions, deletions, or substitutions to the agenda?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, the only thing is if you will remove from your agenda item 2A, not quite ready yet, so if we could take that off for another time.
Okay. Any other adjustments, deletions, substitutions? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Mr. Mayor, so move to approve the agenda.
It has been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is carried. If you're following along with us, and then we do have agendas on the back table if you want to follow along with us. Next item would be item, excuse me, would be item 4A. And this is a presentation by our accounting firm, by Terry L. Morton Jr. from Nolan Horton Minor, PA. This, of course, is as it relates to our annual audit for the year 2023-2024. So we're going to turn the floor over to him.
Good evening. I am Terry Morton. I'm the audit partner in charge of your audit, and it is the 23-24 audit, and we made somewhat good progress cleaning up a lot of stuff in this audit, so we're hoping we'll be presenting the 24-25 probably in July or August, so it'll be well before Christmas time this year.
Oh, yes, look forward to it.
Good.
And just to kind of start at the beginning, at page 1 is our audit opinion. And as in prior years, it was qualified because of difficulties in the cash reconciliations. And so they made some progress on it in this year, so we're hoping that'll get cleared up next year. And then on page 2, there's an emphasis of a matter because we had to do a prior period adjustment to the beginning balances due to some discrepancies in timely paying the payroll taxes and filing reports. And again, that was primarily related to the problems with the bank reconciliations, but we had to restate the beginning general fund balance by $63,000 for unpaid payroll penalties and interest. And jumping ahead to page 14, some good news is your unassigned fund balance, which is what's available to go forward for future years. Spending was $7.1 million, which is up about $1.4 million from the prior year. And as a percentage of your budget expenditures, that's about 39%. And most people like to keep that above 15 to 25%. So you're doing pretty good there as far as your reserves. And as far as your income statement on page 16, there wasn't a significant change in your revenues or expenses from prior years, and your net income from the year was up about $100,000. And then on page 18 is the utility fund balance sheet, and there again you've got about $1.2 million of unrestricted fund balance, which is available for future years. And starting on page 62 is our report on your internal control and your compliance with laws and regulations. And as in the prior years, we had one comment on internal controls, which is your policies and procedures, and that's mainly due to a staffing issue. You don't have enough full-time staff to have the actual procedures that are in your policy manual at this point. And again, your bank recs also make that more difficult to do as far as doing a lot of the year-end reconciliations and stuff. If it's not accurate, you can't really reconcile it. And then we had one compliance issue as far as timely filing the annual report. And on page 65 is our management letter, and we didn't really have any new comments on there. And the last report we issue is on your compliance with your investment policies and procedures, and again, we did not have any problems there. So I'd just like to open it up to any questions anyone might have.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So we'll see if there's any questions or comments from council regarding the annual audit.
No. Summed it all up.
Any questions or comments?
No.
Hearing none. At this point, then, if we have no questions or comments, and we've had the opportunity to go through it, the report, And there's no questions or comments, so at this time, we'll have a motion.
And Mr. Mayor, I believe that you're dealing with that on item 6A. Approval of the resolution, I think, is what your
Yes.
formal action is. I'm sorry for the
Okay.
interruption.
Well, certainly, and I was moving ahead, you're absolutely correct. So with that, if there's no other questions or comments as it relates to that, then of course we're going to get to the resolution to ratify this. Okay, thanks so much. And if there's some that may come up a little later, we'll see if there's anything at that time. Okay, thanks so much for the presentation. We're going to move on in our agenda. Our next item is item 4A. I'm sorry, is item 5, and this is our Palm Beach County League of Cities Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a calendaring note for you all. The next Palm Beach County League meeting is April 22nd at 11:30. That's out in Green Acres at their community center. The address is 501 Swain Boulevard. The speaker is Alexia Cox. She's the state attorney for the 15th Judicial Circuit. The title of her presentation hasn't been released yet, but I'll hopefully bring that to you at your next meeting. And just a note, immediately after the league meeting at 1 p.m., they're doing their annual elected officials workshop. So if you want to stay and attend that, there's always some helpful information there in terms of little tidbits for you all as you sit in your respective seats. So that's my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments for our attorney?
You said April 22nd?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to pre-register?
You have to RSVP. Yes, I would presume that the league wants you to RSVP for both, so they know how many people are attending the general membership meeting and also the workshop after.
Thanks so much. Any other questions or comments for Mitty?
No.
Okay, hearing none. We're going to move on to our agenda. Our next item is item 6A, and this is resolution number 226-06. And of course, this is approving the annual audit for fiscal year 2023 and 2024, for which we've just had a presentation. We'll have it read by title.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you said, it's resolution number 2026-06, a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Mangonia Park, Florida, approving the annual audit for fiscal year 2023/2024, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Thanks so much. We've heard it read by title. Is there any questions or comments as it relates to the proposed resolution? Okay, seeing that we've had full discussion. Okay, so at this time, we'll have a motion, please.
And Mr. Mayor, if you could solicit public comment.
Yes.
Thank you.
Forgive me, I'm a little brain dead today.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Thanks. Oh, no, thanks so much. So at this time, we're going to open the floor to any comments that may be from the public as it relates to resolution number 2026. This, of course, is the resolution that we pass to memorialize the fact that we have had an audit and we approve it. So if there's any conversation or questions from the audience, we'll take those questions now. Any comments or questions from the floor? And we do have our YouTube page, and so what we do there is we just wait a couple of seconds because there's a delay to see if there's anyone online that has any questions or comments as well. Okay, no one there. So the floor is still open for any comments or questions from the floor. Okay, seeing that there's no questions from the floor, we'll close the floor. We're back now to the dais to see if there's any any questions or comments from the dais. Seeing that there are none, motion please.
Mr. Mayor, so move that we approve the resolution 2006-6, approving the annual audit for 2003 and 2004.
Thank you so much. Motion has been made that we approve resolution number 2026-06. Is there a second?
A second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Councilmember Davis Quince,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb,
Yes.
and Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and thanks so much for all of the hard work, and we'll get the new one in on time. Okay, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Okay. Continue on our agenda. Our next item is item 7A, and this is the discussion on an agreement with a GPS tracking provider for the town's vehicles. So we're going to go to our town manager, Ken Metcalf.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, this come up many years ago, and as the way things materialize, we're just now really getting some good quotes on this. So our consultant, Melvin's been working on this, and the idea is to get tracking devices on each town vehicle, not just the maintenance truck, but also the town van and the administrative vehicle. And I'll let Melvin go from there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. we've been outreaching and searching for some systems that would work for us, for the town, you know, reasonable, but, you know, for sure that would hold us up and we could keep up with our units, all the units in the town. So I reached out to a few of them, and the one that stuck out to me was the one that would install the units, pro install, because the most of them want to send you the package and then we install it. But we didn't want to go that route. We preferred to work with someone who would get us the equipment and then install it. That would be better for us. You know, we're not in that type of line of work of installing. They're pretty simple to install because they tap right into the database of the vehicle. But it's still, we rather have someone do it professionally. And I think that one looked like came out to be like $18.95 per unit, pro install.
That was the Verizon?
Yes, I think that is the Verizon one with Adam. The gentleman's name was Adam.
Okay.
And again, that is $18.95 per vehicle per month, just for clarification.
Okay. There's an initial install fee as well?
No, he didn't mention that in the quote. That is the.
That's included in
That's
the-
included, yes. Exactly.
Okay, anything else as it relates to this item?
No, sir, no.
Okay, if not, then we'll see if there's any questions or comments from council.
Yeah. I have a
Councilwoman
question.
Davis?
I don't know if I should ask you or Mr. Metcalf. Why do we need trackers in these vans and trucks? I mean, the town is very small. Like, why do we really need trackers? And then you're gonna pay $18.95 a month? And it's no ending date to that, correct?
No, long as we monitoring the vehicles, there would be costs on that. It's just like a cell phone.
Right.
So we just need to know where the vehicle's at. We will be able to see them online, live, if anything happened. They went even as far as asking us if we want dashboard cams because of accidents, a lot of accidents that be happening on the road. So they wanted to know if we wanted a dash cam. We didn't bid for that right now. We just wanted to know where the vehicle's at, and if anything happens, we could dispatch people there.
Oh, okay. We already don't have privacy in the world anyway.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of invading
Mhm.
privacy.
Mhm.
I mean, even though it's the town's vehicles,
Mhm.
that's a lot.
Mhm.
I don't think that's a good idea at all. But anyway, that's my opinion.
I understand. I
Okay.
perfectly
So,
understand.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, to that point, so yes, this does allow us to track where the vehicles are at, but it also gives us information like if a vehicle is just sitting and idling. You know, if for whatever reason someone gets out of their vehicle and just leaves it running, we'll be able to pick up on that too. So there is a financial piece to this too, to be able, with gas prices the way they are and all that.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing is to be able to track the vehicles. From time to time, we have received complaints. Some of them have turned out not to be true, but we do get complaints. Well, we saw a vehicle down in West Palm Beach at 9 o'clock at night. We want to be able to go to our online system and either say, no, that didn't happen, or yes, it did, and then if it did, be able to deal with that employee. And that's as simple as it gets, and that's our reasoning.
And in these days, Council, I could probably find a city that doesn't have it in their vehicles. It'd probably be tough to find a city without them. You know, most cities, all cities now, counties have GPSs in their vehicles. It's just, they use it as insurance purposes as well. You know, accidents happen.
Okay. Anything else, Councilwoman Davis?
No.
Okay. Ready? Any other council comments or questions?
I just wanted to get clarification. Now, the adding of the dash cam, that's a $50 increase on,
Yes, yes, ma'am, if you add the dash cam.
But we're not recommending.
We're
that.
not ready for that one. You know, that's mostly in semi rigs, and, you know, they use those dash cams and palm train big buses and things like that.
Okay. Anything else, Councilwoman Johnson?
no, that's it. I just wanted to make sure that we had the clarification on that. We're
Mhm.
not doing that at this time.
Okay, well, sure. Any other questions or comments from council? Okay, already hearing none other. As stated by our consultant, when you have these kind of things, it's like having a fire alarm in your home. It lowers your insurance as well, because now there's some sort of safeguards in place. And I don't think this is a question of integrity or anything like that.
Mhm.
I would say this, and no offense to Captain, it's sort of like if a police officer moved next door. Some people are offended. I'm delighted,
Mhm.
because if you're absorbing the rules and policies and so forth, then those kind of things have no effect on you anyway.
Yeah.
So I have no issue at all with it, because there's an advantage to having it.
Mhm.
And so I'm in support of the purchase. But again, we'll see if there's any other comments or questions before we call the vote. Okay, hearing none. No other comments or questions. So at this point in time, we do have before us a proposal from Verizon for the installation and monthly monitoring of GPS systems for all of our town vehicles. Just before we do, we're looking at what, about 10 all total?
10 vehicles, that's about 8, I think.
It's about 8.
That's right. That's
Eight
correct.
that we have
So that-
insured that are active.
Okay, so that puts us at about $150 a month for this service, roughly?
Roughly.
Okay. Okay, thanks so much. So with that, if there's no other questions or comments, we do have this item before us, and so at this time, we'll have a vote as it relates to the proposed purchase and installation of the GPS trackings for the town vehicles.
I have a question.
Sure.
What if you were to pay it in lump sum? Would they decrease the monies any? Would it decrease?
Didn't ask that
Some
question,
companies do
but
that.
we
Like if you're
could
gonna
ask
pay-
that
Instead of doing
question.
monthly, if you pay it
Mhm.
all up at once.
We could ask that question if it need to be asked.
Meaning like an annual amount?
Yeah, instead of doing it monthly, just do it annual. There are certain fees that are associated with monthly payments. So if you were to call and say, hey, if we paid up front, you'd be paying ahead, so therefore those fees wouldn't be assessed.
Okay, certainly. Now, that could be a condition of the motion, if there's a motion in order, that we also reach out to see if there's an annual amount, but providing that it does not exceed the monthly average of what we'd be paying if we did it monthly. So that could be one of
Yes.
those conditions.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Did we budget for this?
There is money in the budget. Okay, other questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions or comments, then motion, please. Is there a motion for the approval of the installation of the GPS tracking systems for the town vehicles?
Mr. Mayor, I so move that we approve the request for the installation of GPS in our town vehicles not to exceed the average amount of monthly, but to consider a annual fee.
Okay, providing it does not, the annual fee. Okay, so noted. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any additional questions on the motion?
Just, Mr. Mayor, for the record, was that to proceed with the Verizon quote of $18.95? Okay.
Per month. And we also, the clarification for the motion as well, and to contact the vendor to see if there is a lower annual rate if we were to purchase annual, providing that it does not exceed the monthly average. Okay. Okay. Or with that, any other questions or clarification needed on the motion? Okay, if not, roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Coints,
No.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb,
Yes.
and Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
Passes 4-1.
Thank you so much. Our next item is item 7B, and this is a request for the approval of the ratification of agreement between the Town of Magnolia Park and the Hinterland Group. This, of course, is for the emergency sewer repairs that was made at the lift station at Tiffany Lake Apartments. Ken?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, this item is in your manager's report, and also for those of us that were able to talk one-on-one we talked through this. Last Wednesday morning, or Wednesday of last week, we discovered that there was a malfunction at this lift station, what we refer to as the Tiffany lift station. And being that it was, we could tell that, being very early in the morning and knowing that very soon people would be getting up, showering, flushing and whatnot, we were concerned that, the sewage would rise and spill over and ultimately start backing up into homes. So with that, we did call the Hinterland Group. They're nearby in Riviera Beach. They were able to respond quickly, and what they did for us, and this is in your packet, they did give us a quote, and then we gave them, I called the mayor, as by code, I called the mayor, conferred with him, and the mayor instructed me to also call the attorney and just bounce it off her for an emergency repair. So once we gave Hinterland the green light, what they did was they installed and assembled a bypass system to that lift station. What that did, that allowed them to pull the pumps, clean the pumps, reinstall the pumps, and everything went on, like normal. The good thing about this is now we have a bypass system set up, so if we have this problem again, we won't have to spend $30,000. We just connect the bypass and we keep going. We pull the pumps, make the repair, or pull the floats, whatever the case may be, or just simply make the repair. That's the best way that I can explain it, but we were trying hard to prevent what we felt like would be a dangerous situation. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much. Any council comments or questions as it relates to the request for ratification of this expenditure?
No.
Okay, McConnell.
Is this the one that causes the manhole to come out of 45th Street?
This is it, that's right.
We've already had a lawsuit over that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all?
Correct.
Anything else? Okay. Any other council comments? Okay. Well, thanks so much. And just for the record, as Ken stated, our town manager, we've had discussions one-on-one with each council member to explain exactly what was going on, and it was vetted and went through the process. So with that, if there's no other questions or comments from council, this, of course, is a vote to ratify the work that has already been done by the Hinterland Group. So at this time, a motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, I so move that we approve. The work has already been done.
Okay, motion has been made to approve the expenditure. Is there a second?
Second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Quince.
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb.
Yes.
And Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. Our next item is item 7C, and this is a request for the authorization to purchase 3 6-inch water meters from the MOA Systems. This, of course, is the town supplier that we use for such, and the installation at Hampton Courts and Tiffany Lakes and Palm Beach Cast Stone. Okay, so at this time, our consultant.
Once again, good evening.
Good evening.
These meters here, these 6-inch meters, we have one here in Tiffany that it just stopped working, and we're losing revenue behind this, and we really need to purchase these meters. But it's 3 of them: Hampton Court and Australia Avenue. We have Palm Beach Cast Stone as well. And these meters are just not registering anymore, so we're not able to read them because they electronic. So we need to get these meters replaced as soon as possible so we can start back billing these accounts.
Okay. Okay, anything else before we have some questions?
Mr. Mayor, I'll give you this nugget. So these meters are under warranty.
Mm-hmm.
So what'll happen is you do have to pay up front. We'll take the ones that are not registering, we'll send those back to the manufacturer. They evaluate the meter. If it's fixable, they will fix it and send it back to us, and we'll have that as a spare. Or if it just needs to be replaced, they will send us a new one. But the way the contract is written, and this is pretty standard, they have the option to repair or replace. So what will happen is, once we get these meters back, we now have a credit, and we also have replacement meters, so if this happens again. So, but
Exactly.
yes, these meters are under a 10-year warranty.
Okay, thanks so much. Anything else before we have some questions?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
We just need to get them replaced, so.
Okay, thanks so much. So at this time, council comments or questions? Councilwoman
Yes, I'm
Johnson?
glad you clarified the warranty. That was part of my question. Also, I do remember a discussion about having additional meters in stock, so if there's an emergency, we can immediately replace. Are these the same type of meters that we
Same
have?
type of meters,
So we don't have any that are
not those.
extras that could be immediately
No,
replaced?
ma'am, not that size, but
Okay.
we have like 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, but these are large.
The large ones, I got you.
Large ones.
Mhm, okay.
Anything else, Councilwoman
No,
Johnson?
that's it.
Okay, any other council comments or questions?
Not at this time.
Okay. What's the turnaround time? Did they say when they might be able to get those to us?
It was it was a few weeks, it was pretty quick, they were gonna
Yeah.
get them to us, and that's what, we looked at as well, how soon they could get them to us, because we're unable to bill their account, so I think it was like a few weeks, couple weeks, something like that. It was in the email.
Alrighty, and while you're looking for that, now the 19,521.60, is that the cost of 3 new meters?
3 new
Or
meters.
is that the cost of, now with this, normally, a lot of times in situations, there are core charges, that is, you send
Mhm.
back the previous thing. and
Exactly.
So we would have to send those 3
We
back.
gotta send 'em back.
At the 19, okay. Alrighty, going to what Councilwoman Johnson was alluding to, and I have that same question. If we don't have any spares, then it might be a good idea for us to just purchase additional, so that if we do have some go down, we have some backups. Because right now, we can't do anything as you stated.
Right.
Right, whereas we have some backups, we can install and send those and wait for those to
Exactly.
come back. So, so what I would propose, if at all possible, what we're looking at right now is the 19, let's just say 19.
521.60.
So if we were to divide that by 3, and my math is off a little bit, that would be right about
6,000.
6,000
Right, right.
apiece, 6, 7,000.
6,390.
Right.
Okay, our mathematician did it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it's on the quotes.
It's on, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So my suggestion would be that we actually just add 2 additional meters to that.
And that's what we are planning on, Mr. Mayor, we're planning on, getting some extras in. Matter of fact, we just received a ton of extras.
Okay, so
yeah.
we have some backups?
Not that size, though,
Oh, okay.
we
Just-
trying to, the rule of the rule is that if you have 30 of those, you need to at least have 3 on the shelf. If you have 30 of those 6-inch meters, you need to at least have 3 spares.
Mhm. Okay. And we have roughly how many, just an approximation? How
Of the
many
6-inch?
Just roughly. Throughout time, just an
I can't-
educated guess.
I can't give you that number, it's not that
Okay.
many, but I can't give you that off my head.
Okay.
Cassie's telling me less than 10.
Less than 10.
Less than 10?
It's less than 10. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I would still suggest that we do that. I'm going to defer now to Councilman Johnson.
The comment that Mr. Metcalf made about the ones that are going to be sent back under
Mhm.
warranty would be either replaced or repaired.
Correct.
So they will come back as extras to have backups.
Okay.
That's right. But that process, the only negative to that is it takes a while. That's probably a
Mhm.
90 to 120
Oh.
day
Mhm.
process to get those
But a
back.
repair.
And it's really up to them whenever they get around to evaluating. So that's but we will either get a new one back or a repaired one back, or 3 repaired.
Okay, I understand it. So I agree with your point that we need to
Mhm.
go ahead and purchase a few extras so
Well,
that we would
absolutely.
have some spares on for that size.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, and I think there was a clarification that I needed that you may have just given. So there's no core to this as it relates to, what's going to happen is that we're going to send you 3 new ones, but you got to send us the 3 old ones.
Mhm.
That's not how this purchase is?
they're gonna send us, when we take out the old ones, we
Mhm.
gotta send that back.
Mhm.
Then they wanna repair it, if it's repairable,
Mhm.
and then they'll send it back.
Okay. So in essence, we'll have 6 all total coming back
Then
at
you-
us as opposed to the 3.
Yes.
I guess I'm likening it to the fact that if I buy a starter and I go to a discount auto, they're gonna take that starter as a core and give it a
Exactly.
little discount, but I don't get it back.
No, we getting them.
These
back.
we get back. Okay, okay.
Got
Then
it.
that's clear. Then we may not need to do that then. I thought we were just getting 3 back and that's it, and we send the other 3 and that's it, and we only have 3.
Right.
But if we have 6, then that, then.
And that's the rule of thumb that have, like extra. If you got 10, you need at least 3 spares.
Okay. Alrighty, so if we're having 3 coming back, then maybe if we just allocated dollars for at least 1 more,
I agree.
just to be safe, and because there's a lag time for those other 3 coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we were to add an additional 16,
6395.
okay, to this. Okay. And so if we can just do some rough math, we can say up to, and that way, so not to exceed.
We just received a shipment of,
You have the.
yeah.
All right. In fact, we can do the math, that we can just state that we're going to do the 16.
So you'd add
So that was
6,000 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
19,521, and then 6,002. Actually, 65 to it. Just to be safe.
64, yeah, let me see.
Okay, but not to exceed 2,600. I just rounded up to 65 for an additional one. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
So for the mayor, we're gonna do order, instead of ordering 3, we're gonna order 4. So that's an additional 63.
Not to
Mhm.
exceed 26,000.
63.95.
Okay, that's adding an additional spare.
Right.
And that way, that was on the shelf, and we're not waiting for anything to come back at us, because God forbid, if one of those 3 go down, then we're
Mhm.
right back at it.
No, we need them because we're running an issue when we can't build the account.
Yeah, the loss of revenue would more than pay
Exactly.
for it, so, okay. So with that, if that's, Councilwoman Johnson?
Point of clarification, on the invoice, on the quote, it also indicates additional MSW node. Is that something that is attached to?
That is the node for when you're driving by, you can read it.
So we need to get an additional
It
node
comes
as
with
well,
it.
right?
No, it comes with that, with the meter.
It comes with it, because it's priced
It,
$333 for 3. That's why I'm thinking, do we need to include that
No.
111 with that total? Is that gonna include 26,000? You see what I'm saying? If we're gonna get 4,
This quote
if
is.
we're gonna get 4, we need to have a node with that 4th one as well.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly.
So we need to include that,
Exactly.
$111
But a node.
cost, instead of just the cost for the additional.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, got it.
Okay, alrighty, so then we'll amend it, and just to be safe, we can say not to exceed 2,800?
Yeah, I agree.
28,000, I wish it was 28,000.
28,000.
Yeah, 28,000, okay.
Mhm.
Alrighty, any other questions or comments or amendments? Okay, so with that, we've amended the proposal, we're amending the proposal to include 1 additional as a spare, and that is not to exceed $28,000. So with that, if there's no other questions or comments, a motion please.
Mr. Mayor, so move that we approve the request for 4 additional 6-inch meters not to exceed 28,000.
Okay, thank you so much. Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Quince,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell,
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb,
Yes.
and Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. Our next item is item 7D, and this is a request for the authorization approving the installation and purchase of an aluminum roof at the water plant. This, of course, is for our chemical and our high service pumps to keep those covered. Ken?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, I'm going to ask our building official, Jose Rodriguez, to present this, but just a little background information quickly. once per year, the health department comes out and they do what they call a sanitary survey. They look over, and this is at the water plant, they look over really everything that you have. They make you a long list of things they'd like to see you do. And so we've been able to attack most of those and get those out. And this is one item that they highly recommended that we do, and that is to cover. We have 2 chlorine tanks sitting there. There is a roof on it, but it's not too stable right now. So they're recommending, highly recommending, that we replace that roof and also at the same time extend that cover to where it covers the high service pumps. We have an area that would house 3 service pumps. We've got 2 right now, one's being repaired. So that was their recommendation. After talking to staff and some of the council members, we decided that it would be better to get an aluminum roof, and that's where we brought Jose in, and he scouted around a little bit, and I'll let him take it from there.
Okay. I have some laid out. Do you want to see closer?
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So if you know where the existing wood deck is, that's going to be taken down, and the aluminum roof is going to be over that and also going to be over the pipe as well. If you look on the black mark that I put there,
Is
you
that
can see
little
what the
jog?
perimeter.
That's where the high service pumps are?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a 3-inch aluminum white roof with the beams and columns. They're going to be attached to the existing concrete that's there, so we don't have to dig any footer or something like that. It's going to be attached to the concrete, also going to be attached to the little building that's there.
And Mr. Mayor, in your package, you do have the rough sketch and the quote from Palm Beach Aluminum. We did solicit other quotes, Jose did. Really, no one wanted a quote on this. Previously, we had received a quote for about $20,000, but it was not an aluminum roof. This quote is for $13,700.
Okay, all right, thanks. All right, appreciate it. Anything else?
And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Oh, certainly. Councilwoman Johnson?
Yes, I'm looking at the quote, and I do see 50% discount, deposit is owed deposit. So that deposit has to be made with the order and
Yes.
the final payment when it's completed. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Anything else, Councilwoman Johnson?
No, that's all.
Okay. Okay, Vice Mayor Webb?
Thank you. I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So right on this side, right, how much inches over from the pump number 3 is it gonna come over?
It's going to be over about 40 inches over where the concrete is, where the concrete slab is located.
But would it be extra to just take it to the concrete right here? Cause say about 2, 3 o'clock, right? If it's not like all the way out, when the sun starts coming in, it starts beaming and hitting this, it defeats.
Correct.
Cause I think what they were trying to do is to take the sun off of it so it doesn't rust as fast.
Right. So the downside, what that would be a completely different design. You had to extend to that, and that would extend the size of the structure. You had to add footers to it. We don't know what is underneath there, on the ground. We don't know what pipes, cables, what not is there. That will increase the price tremendous.
How do you know what's under the concrete?
Well, we had to do a GPR, ground penetrating radar, to find out what's underneath there.
Under the concrete or the?
On the
right
ground, the one you mentioned. The concrete slab, we can bolt it down right to the slab.
Okay.
We're okay with that. But if we're gonna dig into the ground itself, we don't know what is there or where the foot is gonna be. Even with that, we don't know if that will work or not.
But is this slab thick enough to bolt it on?
Yes, the slab is a 4-inch slab. It's going to be able to hold the metal roof. It's used about 170 mile an hour wind. It's an open structure, so it's not gonna be a lot of wind loads.
Okay.
It's gonna be open, so the wind gonna be right go through it. It's gonna get wet, yes. Gonna get some sunlight at the end of the day, yes. But based on what we have, the best price we can do with what we have, that would probably be the best scenario, so.
Thank you.
I was about to ask that question.
The wind.
What will it withstand storms? You said 7 miles per hour
Sorry,
wind?
170.
Oh, 170.
Yeah, category 5.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
category 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Like 7. We might as well
No,
put it
7
up.
miles, no, we get that every day.
I was making sure I heard you
Right.
properly. Thank you, sir, for that.
Sure.
I'm okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any other council comments or questions? Righty. Now, we got this quote last month. This is a 30-day quote, so it's still good?
Yes.
Alrighty, and we do need to do this because we want to make sure we don't have any water intrusion taking place and so forth, so we do need to do it. Now, to Vice Mayor's concern, perhaps, and I don't know that it can or cannot be, as opposed to trying to redesign, perhaps some of that opaque type of screening or something like that to kind of help prevent some of the sun going off on that side.
You
Not
can
for-
add,
not for
but
here and now.
you have to be careful. The more we add to the structure, the more willow we create. It might change the size of the columns.
Right.
So we
No.
have to, if that's
Right.
what we want, we might have to go back, redesign. Instead of be the pool to be 4x4, it might need to be 6x6.
Okay.
It
Now,
may be a 6x6 with the wind lows. Maybe the slab will not work.
Right.
Maybe we have to do footers.
Now, specifically.
So this is the best we can do at the lowest
Oh,
prices possible.
right.
Without going to a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do this now, so we approve this
Correct.
now. But the opaquing I'm referring to is much like you see along fences. We have it at the water plant now.
Right.
So that sort of mesh, so you're talking,
I know.
what, less than a pound?
The
or something
the more
like
you
that.
add, however, what you can do, if you need to down the road, we can add to it, right?
Mhm.
If we can add another structure right to it, say for example, we can figure out, okay, we want to add another section, that we can have footers that we can go to that process. You figure out if that's what we
Absolutely.
want to do.
Now, I wouldn't even propose doing that at this, right now, just to approve this and to get this done. But just as an interim measure, if indeed the sun is
Sure.
affecting
You
the
could do the
chemicals.
screen, but I
Yeah,
won't
just to-
suggest something heavy, something light.
Oh, no, it's
No,
light,
it's light.
right. It's that real light
Right.
mesh.
Just to
type
protect
of
the
a stuff.
sun. Nothing they're gonna
Oh,
create
no, nothing
loads
heavy.
to that.
Right.
That's my concern always, the wind
Oh,
loads.
certainly. Right, nothing heavy.
Right.
Okay. All right, any other questions or anything from council? Okay.
No.
If not, then we do have the proposal before us from Palm Beach Aluminum Incorporated. That is to add the roofing as presented here and that you have in your packet. And that is at a cost of $13,700, and with the initial deposit being $6,850. What is your pleasure?
I so move we approve. I so move we approve the request for Palm Beach Aluminum Roofing for $13,700.
700. Motion has been made to approve the proposed item at the water plant. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Quince,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember McConnell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb,
Yes.
and Mayor Alberry.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you so much. Those were the only items we had as action items, so at this point in time, we're going to now open the floor to see if there's any public comment. This is an opportunity we have for the public to be able to come up in 3 minutes and share with us any comments or concerns or you may have. Okay. And when you come, just state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Good evening.
Town Council, and Board. First, want to say congratulations. I didn't know to the new Vice Mayor, Kalisha Webb. Bless you.
Thank you.
To the Town Manager and all. I have something that I spoke with the Town Manager about. I gave him a letter, but I got a revised letter. I've handed to him at the end. To the honorable members of the City Commission, I write to express my strong support for the continued presence of Power Prayer Ministries, Inc. location at 1710 East Tiffany Drive within the PCC zoning district. Power Prayer serve as a vital role in our community, providing spiritual guidance, outreach service, and social support to individuals and families. Our church operates as a place of refuge, unity, and service, consistent with the intent, purpose, and character of community-centered zoning such as PCC. Both federal and state laws strongly protect the rights of religious institutions to locate and operate within the local communities under the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Person Acts, which is RLUIPA 42 USC 2000 CC. A local government may not impose and implement land to use regulation in manner that impose a substantial burden on religious exercise unless its least restrictive means of furthering a compelling governmental interest. Additionally, our LUIPA prohibits land use regulation that treats religious assemblies on less than equal terms with non-religious assemblies. Similar law, let me reread that. Similarly, under Florida law, section 761.03, Florida statutes regulate Freedom Restoration Acts. The government may not substantially burden a person exercise of religion, even through a rule of general applicability, unless it demonstrates that the application of the burden is in furtherance of the compelling governmental interest and is the least restrictive means of furtherance that interest. Furthermore, section 163.315 Florida statute recognizes the local government must exercise their zoning and land development authority in manner consistent with constitutional protections, including the free exercise of religion. In this case, the PCC zoning designation does not prohibit churches, rather it allows the city to approve such use through a special exempt process. This is lawful and appropriate mechanism that has already been utilized by this city, Magonia Park, in the past, including for this ministry, Power of Prayer, in prior location. Granting this special exception is therefore consistent with both establishment, precedent, and governing laws. Excuse me. Additionally, Power of Prayer has demonstrated responsible stewardship of its property. We manage traffic during service time, maintain the premises, and respect neighboring properties. Our presence contributes positively to the safety, stability, and well-being of the surrounding community. The property owner is in full support of our continued operation at this location, further affirming that this use is appropriate and capable with the property. To deny this request would not only disrupt a long-standing congregation, but could also raise serious concern under both federal and state prosecution for the religious exercise. Conversely, granting this special exempt affirms the city commitment to fairness, lawful governance, and community well-being. For this reason, I respectfully request that the city grant the necessary special exempt to allow Power of Prayer Ministries Church to continue operating within the PCC zoning district. Thank you for your consideration and your service to our community. Respectfully, I'll give you these. I have some copies of these papers, and I want to give the revised one to Ken, because I did give him one earlier, but we got a revised one now. And I have them copies to hand out to you. So that's our request.
Okay. Just before we go to our attorney, I don't, at this point, think we have a request before us. And again, there's no action taken here tonight because it's just during public comment, so we can't take action on anything as it relates to that, just for the benefit of those that are here. And just as information as well, and we'll go to our attorney in just a second, one of the things, of course, just as a municipality, we're very church-friendly. In fact, we've taken commercial spaces and repurposed it for the purpose of allowing churches and spaces and places and zones where it is allowed. So at this point in time, I'll go to our attorney to see if she has anything, if it's appropriate at this time, or?
Yeah, so I'll echo that this is public comment, so I'm happy to provide that there are several zoning districts that allow by special exception use, which it sounds like you've utilized in the past, churches to go in
Correct.
those districts. A couple of them are residential, and I think the commercial limited district as well. But that's an application process, that's a full development review process, which it sounds like you may have gone through before. As it relates to the letter, I have not seen the revised version of the letter, but the town code allows for what it allows. There is a provision in the PCC zoning district that allows for special exception uses that are consistent with the intent of the PCC zoning district. So as you all know, your PCC zoning district is a very particular thing, and there are percentage restrictions on the commercial amount of commercial businesses and amount of residential businesses that can be in a PCC. So I'm not sure if an evaluation has been done at this point relative to those percentage limitations, but those would also control what can and cannot go in the PCC zoning district.
Okay. Alrighty, so at this point, Ken,
You also, and I did provide this for Apostle back in November, you have a copy of an email that our planner sent over, and I would just advise that you take a look at that as well. But that's all that I have at the moment.
Okay. Well, certainly, so we'll take a look at things and take it through the process. And again, I just restate, of course, that we're very church-friendly. We made exceptions, and exceptions were allowed. So the situation here is whether or not it is allowed, and as by code now, is it allowed?
It is not allowed as a matter of right, so it's not a permitted use, and it's not, in fact, listed as a special exception use, but in the PCC zoning district, there is a generic statement that other special exception uses that are consistent with the intent of the PCC zoning district can be applied for and evaluated by the Planning and Zoning Board to determine that consistency, and can be granted by the Planning and Zoning Board. So even though it's not listed, if it's compatible, but the issue becomes one of compatibility, whether it's a good zoning fit within the PCC.
Okay, well, thanks so much. So we'll take it through the process, and we'll use the fine-tooth comb that I don't use anymore because I and if it's
looking pretty good to me, but anyhow, go ahead.
If it's allowed, and as you know, if something is allowed, we allow it. If it's not allowed, then we have to follow the code. So, okay.
See, that's the only reason I came up. Want to make sure. I thought it was going to be on the thing tonight, but want to make sure that we abide by every law. You know what I mean? We don't want to go beyond what the law says. So, but I do thank you for your time. You all continue to do your work. If y'all need this copy, I'm gonna get this to you now.
Yep.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could just make one more comment. So the code is what the code is now. There are also, and you've heard this over the years many, many times, there are also opportunities for applicants to make changes to your zoning code. So a text amendment could be applied for to change the zoning code if it's not currently allowed, and that could be processed through the town as well. If in fact there's a determination made that this is not consistent with the PCC, there could be a request to amend the text.
Okay, so you have the TCAs, and they are lengthy and expensive. So,
That they are, but I just wanted to put it out there. For
yeah,
the-
absolutely. Okay. Alrighty. Okay.
It's good.
Okay, so we have the letter and all, and
Yes.
we give every consideration that's as you
I have
know.
extra copies. You want?
we'll
Okay,
give
you're gonna
us the
take
time.
copies of that. I'm talking about
We'll get a
the
copy
one
out
that I have
later
that
on this week, but we do have the one copy, the updated version, so.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
make sure everyone gets a copy.
Got you. Sound good.
Okay.
Hey, thank
Alrighty.
y'all.
Thank
Okay,
you.
congratulations, and
Thank
we
you.
hope to continue to do what we're doing. You all do what you do and make our city great.
Okay, that's all right.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks for all you do, we appreciate it. Okay, the floor is still open for public comment, if there's any additional comment from the public. Any additional comment from the public, the floor is still open. Okay, seeing that there's no comment from the public, so we'll close the floor to public comment, and we're back now to the dais. We go now to our administration. Ken, you have anything?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, thank you for your time tonight. This is very productive. I do have a pretty good list of things to go over with you, and I'll run through it quickly. And just to remind everyone, we do have a workshop immediately following this concerning the public-private partnership. So staff has a number of projects going on. We heard tonight about the fiscal year 2023, 2024 audit, and that in itself, Terry does a lot of work with that, and also the staff does a lot of work with that. So that was pretty labor intensive for our staff. And as he said, we'll have another one coming up in the months ahead. We do now have a part-time bookkeeper, and we will be putting an invitation to bid out for an internal auditor. Most of you know we've been using Alexi off and on over the years, and that has probably run its course, so we'll probably be putting out an invitation to bid for, we'll call it accounting services and an internal audit. Okay. At our next meeting, Nilsa will be here, our planner. We'll be talking about the finding of necessity for the Community Redevelopment Agency, and that's something that council would vote up or down before it goes to the county. Just to give everyone a heads up, and the attorney will forgive me if I get these titles wrong, but basically the fence ordinance and the tree ordinance are going to come back for everyone's review again. That's not ready to present tonight, but those are two ordinances that we want to bring back and have council to look at. Again, that'll be coming up sometime this spring or summer. The new sound system and live streaming company, they're getting all the equipment together, and they should be putting this together this month. And while they're getting their stuff together, we still have to purchase the 3 TVs. The impact fee study is concluding. That's been going on multiple years now, and this should be in front of council for adoption in May. And the vulnerability study is complete and will be presented to town council at our April 21st next meeting. There's always discussion. As you saw tonight, we had an agenda full of utility stuff. So there's always conversations about utilities and other projects. And I know sometimes it may seem like some of these things take a while to get done, but there is a process that we have to go through. And on these utilities projects, we are dealing, at the mercy of vendors, distributors, manufacturers, tariffs. There's a lot of things, weather, the capabilities and the ability of staff, and at the same time trying to save the town a little bit of money. So speaking of utilities, and I'm glad Mrs. Powell is here, we've been made aware by the county that in fiscal year 27-28 the town's going to receive $150,000 for a sewer project on Paxton Avenue. That's still a little ways off, and obviously 150 is not going to cover the entire project, but that's a pretty good start to it. And also, speaking of the county, we've been made aware through the new deputy administrator, Jonathan Brown, that they're interested in helping us with the Highlight project, meaning that if and when that is sold or auctioned or whatever happens to it, and I think everyone knows we have a water capacity issue with that property. The county has at least offered up, and I think there's a potential for them to give us money to make that connection with West Palm Beach. That'll accomplish two things. Number one, it will give that developer access to money, to Freudian slip, to water, and also beyond that, that'll give the town an additional source of water for everything that we're doing. So hopefully, if you'll keep that in your prayers, we hope to see that come to pass. And they're talking about, multiple $1 million once we and West Palm Beach come up with some cost. National Day of Prayer is Thursday, May 7th, we are going to do a program here in Town Hall, probably have a luncheon with that. And we would also like your blessing on a budget kickoff date. Most of you know we do kind of an all-day thing in May to kick off the budget process. We're looking at Monday, May 11th, that's 2 days after Mother's Day, from 8:30 until approximately 4 a.m. Certainly, there's going to be a large amount of utility discussion in that, and we also want you to bring your ideas of what we need to be working on in the next budget.
8:30 to 4 a.m.?
PM. Why don't we go 4 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. or PM?
I thought I heard it.
My apologies, I misspoke. Trying to talk too fast. But 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Probably won't go as late as 4 p.m. It never does, but that's at least what we'll advertise. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have on any topic.
Questions or comments we can? Just while the rest of the council is thinking, could we consider an alternate date as well for the budget workshop? Maybe
Absolutely.
the following week or as well?
Sure.
Take a look at it. and let us
Absolutely.
know. Okay.
I mean, not to put everyone on the spot, does everyone have a preference in a day, not specific date, but day of the week? Anything but Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, third week of the month.
What's that?
Third week of the month works better for
Third
me.
week of the month? Okay. I got
But
you.
again, just depending on everybody else.
I don't have my calendar to see the dates.
Yeah, second week is mine. And that's the second week.
Third week, what day?
And of course, we'll
Just whatever day.
we'll have lunch for everyone.
I think the Goodwill is well, I'll have to see the
Okay.
date first.
Yeah, we can nail down the date and just whatever date in that week works for everybody.
Yeah,
That's
just let me know.
For Goodwill for that third week, and I'm normally at the Goodwill. the whole
Okay,
week.
alrighty. So what we can do is, when we find out that date, we'll just avoid that date. And kind of get information out to everybody with potential dates. Okay. Okay, alrighty. So
That's all
anything
I
else we can? Okay, if not, then we'll move on. Captain?
Oh, no, you wanted us, before you go to Captain, I just want to mention a pothole is developing at 45th Street and Boardman. A
Which street? I'm
pothole,
sorry.
45th and Boardman, right at the entrance.
Okay.
It's not too big, but it's gonna get larger as it rains, so we can get that taken care of as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay.
So 45th and South Place, right?
Yeah, 45th and South Place,
I-
yep, right there, at that entrance, at the light, actually.
Alrighty. I hope it's on the county side.
Yeah.
We'll fix it, but. Okay, alrighty. Okay, Captain? Okay, any questions or comments for the captain? Okay. I guess, great job out there, so no questions or comments. Okay, thanks for all you do out there.
One
Okay.
question.
Yes.
Ronnie, have y'all done anything about the shootings? Or have you had any? Because I know the other night, I just went to bed, and the way it echoes around there, I don't know exactly where it was coming from. But I mean, it sounded like an automatic weapon. You know, I mean, a firecracker, firecrackers you can kind of tell, but when it goes pop, 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 you know, that tells me it's a gun of some
Yeah,
type.
that likely didn't happen in Mangonia Park, and since you're very close to a very active part of West Palm, that's probably what you heard. Now, however, we did have a few weeks ago in Tiffany a shooting incident, and that was an accidental discharge. And so we know who the person is, and the person has been questioned, and I won't go into any further about that. But that's the only confirmed shooting incident that we've had in our district.
I know you said at one other meeting about, you know, you have some way of telling where them shots are coming from, or?
Riviera Beach has a shot spotter. We do have a system in which there are portable shot spotter equipment on it, and it may or may not be in the town at any given time. That's, it just depends on the need at the time. We do have quite a extensive bit of equipment to detect surveillance equipment to detect crime without saying too much, and we're working on more, so if that satisfies you.
I mean, I know you guys can't be everywhere all the time, so
We try hard. Now, the UCR reports are coming out for this year, and I do anticipate that the town has enjoyed a significant decrease in crime yet again. But before I go blowing the horn, I want to make sure I get the official numbers, and at that particular time I'll share it with the town manager and with the council when the time is appropriate. So
back in the day when I was going to school, you had your little tussles, fights, blah blah, but maybe you go behind the bleachers and pound it out a little bit, and everything was okay. And now,
well, if that happens, we'll probably get an alert. So
now today they pull a gun.
Yeah.
They don't do that no more.
Yeah, unfortunately, sign at the times.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that it's getting worse. It's not getting better, it's getting worse.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to get political up here, but it's I'll just say sign at the times, and just lift
social climate is
lift us up in prayer.
But I don't think anybody wants to go back to the old West. Everybody wears a gun. You don't live much past 40 because you get shot. Too late.
Well, in the state of Florida, just so you know, just about everybody can wear a gun. As long as you're not a convicted felon, as long as you don't fall outside of those parameters, you can. We have now, by default, constitutional carry here in the state of Florida. So, in effect, we are kind of like the Old West.
Yes, we are there.
So.
Okay. Alrighty. Any other questions as it relates to law enforcement for here in town? Alrighty. And hopefully we won't need that spot checker because you will have demonstrated there's a need if they bring it in. So hopefully we don't have to.
When we need it, we bring it in.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't need it.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't need it.
Okay. That's a negative if we need it. So,
so we may or may not have it here.
I didn't want you to get bored. You look like you were getting bored.
Alrighty. Make sure he woke up. Alrighty. Anything else for Captain? If not, are we going to go to our attorney? Anything of any?
Pleasure serving you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I will get political. The captain didn't want to, but I will go ahead and jump in there. So just I'll be brief. What I sent you is not brief at all, but as you all know, the legislative session ended. So I sent you back on the 20th of March. I sent the interim legislative memo. Good news is this session, a lot of bills didn't pass relative to last year, but the bad news is some weird stuff did. I'll start with the elephant in the room, which is the property tax debate. There were 28 bills that were introduced this session. None of them passed, nor did any of the joint resolutions. That's the good news. The bad news is that, as I'm sure you've all heard on the news, the governor is really pushing a special session to deal with that. So he's running out of time, so it's likely that that will be sometime this month to deal with the property tax issue, if there is any hope of getting anything on the ballot for November. So that issue is, although nothing passed this session, is not dead. So to be continued there, and I'll keep you updated as the weeks go on here. Just to highlight a few, and as you read the memo, if you have questions, you can call me, obviously, if there's questions on specific bills. But the sovereign immunity bill finally passed this year. You've heard it the last couple of years. So currently the caps are 200 per person, 200,000 per person, 300,000 per occurrence. Those limits in this bill were increased to 350,000 per person and 500,000 per occurrence. So that has implications on the town's insurance premiums, I expect. The good news in the bill is that this year there was sort of a fire sale at the end of the session in terms of amendments. And one of the proposed amendments in that bill would have eliminated essentially the caps, those caps. It would have said that if you exceed those caps, you don't have to get a claims bill, which is currently a requirement in the state law, which essentially means the maximums are not maximums. So good news is the bill that did pass does have maintained the claims bill process, so that means those caps are caps, but the bad news is the bill did pass this year. I think this was the third year. Lots of bills changing the building permit process, so your building official, I'm sure, will be well aware of those. The biggest change is that the state is mandating a uniform building permit application. That's an entirely new thing. The good news for the town and for local governments is that it is going to have to be compliant with your system of permitting. So any online permitting system that we have in place, which we do, that permit application style will have to integrate with the local government system. So, but that's a notable change, and the state will be in charge of coming up with that. A couple of other ones, a big change to your budget process. Good news is it doesn't go into effect this year. It doesn't go into effect until your 2027 budget. But it makes local governments have to do a 10% cost cutting or budget reduction exercise as part of the budgeting process each year. That's a big change. You don't have to adopt the 10% reduction, but you have to go through the exercise and you have to publish on your website showing that you've gone through the report that shows you've done the 10% cost cutting. The other thing that the bill does is a relatively onerous administrative burden. There are a lot of things that the law requires the town to put on its website in terms of all kinds of data, specific data fields having to do with your budget. They have to be text searchable, they have to be readable. I've laid it all out in the memo, but some administratively burdensome things that we will need to be thinking about sooner rather than later. Again, good news is it's not effective until your next budget cycle, so it doesn't affect your upcoming budget that you'll approve in September, but next year that will be something that you have to deal with. There were also some utility bills that made amendments to what you can and can't do in terms of the provision of water, so I've laid all that out. In there was a bill having to do with chickee huts. You all know what chickee huts are, the actual tiki huts or thatched roof structures that are actually built by an Indian, one of the two prescribed Indian tribes. They're, unfortunately for the town and for all local governments, it's another sort of layer of preemption. So right now the law says if the chickee hut is built by the appropriate tribe and there's documentation of that, they don't have to get a permit, but they have to follow your zoning code, which means they have to meet setbacks and the other things that are prescribed in your zoning code. This bill removes that and basically sets limits where they can go within your setbacks. So not exactly a preemption, but a little bit of an erosion of local government control, so we never like to see that, but I wanted to flag that for you. There were a bunch of bills reported on in the memo, so if you have questions, I don't want to go through every single one, but if you have questions, feel free to call me and I can explain anything you have. But I wanted to give you that update, and then as we do every year, as the governor begins to start signing bills, we'll send you a final memo so you know what's happened with all the bills, because some get vetoed, some get passed for with no action, some get signed, many have been signed already, so I'll give you the final update basically right around the 60-day mark from the end of the session. So with that, I'll stop and answer any questions.
Alrighty, and thanks so much, and we really appreciate that information. It was very good. So any questions or comments for a minute? Any questions or comments for our attorney? Okay, it was very thorough. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your indulgence on time there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, we appreciate it. Okay, so with that, we've had all of our reports from our administration and such. So at this time, we're going to have our council comments. McConnell, you have anything?
No.
Okay. Councilwoman Davis?
No.
Alrighty. Councilwoman Johnson?
Not at this time.
Okay. Vice Mayor Webb?
Yes, is it okay if I step off the dais to, just probably about 5 minutes?
Okay.
No, I'm gonna do mine within 5 minutes. We'll do my report within 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Please, can you pass this down there? That way. Thank you very much. Here, Ms. Minnie, can you help us read, please? Okay, I'm gonna try to do this quick. I normally don't talk.
Do we have one for the record?
Yeah, they're going that way
Okay.
to you. So, dear Mayor, council members, and everyone in the audience, I'm not usually a note speaker, but today I wanted to just do this. On your desk, there is a baton. At the bottom, you'll see 2 torches, one lit, one unlit. For a torch to stay lit, there has to be leadership. There has to be unity. There has to be people working together with purpose. This is not a race, but this is merely a community. We are here to serve, to protect, and to build together. And if we want that torch to stay lit, we must work together to keep it burning. I've been here on and off for 4 terms, and while I don't know what God has in store for me, I do know this: leadership is not about titles, it's about responsibility. No matter how long any of us has been here, there must be transition, transformation, education, and preparation. If we're not preparing the next generation, then we're failing our future. If someone leaves a position and no one is trained to step in, then what have we to truly build? I want to take a moment to acknowledge Sherry, even though she's not here. I kind of wish she was here. I would be ungrateful if I don't say how much I've learned from her throughout the time that I've known her, just watching her. We all have that idol and someone that we look up to, and I will forever say how grateful I am. Leadership has helped me shape the woman I am today, most importantly, the community, friends, and everyone that I surround myself with. That matters because purpose matters. Purpose cannot die unless we allow it to. Every person who walks through these doors has a purpose. It is our responsibilities as leaders to help bring that out in them through education, mentorship, services. Now, I want to address why I am here today. Many of you received my resignation letter. Please note the date on it. It was written before March 10th. Before I even applied, I had doubts. I had insecurities. I wasn't sure if I wanted to rerun, but I moved forward anyway. And it took my 7-year-old, who was 6 at the time, a child who reminded me of my purpose. He said, "Mom, you're always helping people. That's what you're supposed to do. You say never give up." He said this after our meeting, and I was approached by a resident. That stayed with me. It dawned, and it motivated me to do my application in December. On March 10th, I showed up in pain, physically and emotionally. I had just gone through a procedure. I was not at my best. I didn't even plan to stay. I just wanted to attend and go home, but I forgot I was going to do headshots for the BEO, and I wanted to just get prettified. But something in me shifted. Based on my research and knowledge gained, I asked a question as I felt the sense of confidence. And in that moment, I made a decision not to hurt anyone, not to plan anything, not to be deceptive, but merely to step up. And since then, I've been ridiculed, talked about, and questioned. So today I ask directly, what did I do that was unethical? Did I violate someone's trust? Did I misuse in my position? Did I harm this community in any way? Because if I did, I deserve to be told, not talked about, not whispered about, but addressed with leadership, with professionalism, and with respect. That is what real leadership looks like. If I did something wrong, pull me aside, teach me, correct me, lift me up, because none of us are perfect. I have always operated as Kalisha, not by a title, but by character. I've never tried to make anyone feel less of self. Even in my hardest moments, I carry myself with professionalism and respect. And yes, I believe in rotation. I believe in leadership should be shared. That doesn't diminish anyone. It strengthens the whole. After everything, I've reached out. I shook hands. I showed love because that's who I am. So I ask today, what kind of leadership do we want? Do we want unity, collaboration, growth? Or do we want division, backtalk, backlash, or conflict? Because I will not be a part of anything that tears me or anyone in the town down. Mangonia Park is growing, we are rising, we're being recognized, and I am proud to call this town my home. I volunteered here before I even owned my home, and all my children was raised here. But we cannot move forward if we are divided. So I leave with you this. Look at the baton that you have. Look at the torches. Ask yourself, what do you want for this town, and what are you willing to do to keep the torch lit? Thank you. I say that to say this. There's no resignation. In order for a race to be ran, someone has to pass a baton on. And I went on vacation, and I came back to 3 disturbing letters and a few individuals from the community that approached me. And it didn't just put a dart in my heart, it sunk within me. And at the end of the day, I believe the individuals that are sending these letters, if they're not bold enough to put their names on there, I don't know what to say, but I just felt the need to stand here tonight instead of coming to each individual and saying anything, because I've solely searched myself and I've done nothing that was unethical. I did my research, I read, I do everything there is to be done, and I believe once we want growth, we help, we guide, and we lead. Thank you.
And thank you. We appreciate it.
Can't come to
Okay,
you,
thanks.
you know that.
Okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Anything else, Councilwoman?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. And so it's
Did I
my turn for
misunderstand something?
comments, and my comment would be
Step
simply,
down.
my comment would be simply this, and then we're gonna, right? Is that it is, and I think I heard someone say something, so I'll address that. If it's not something that violates the sunshine, I can come to you. I can talk to you, whatever the case may be. And if indeed you cross over to what you think it might have been a violation, you come and you disclose it, you fix it.
Oh.
Okay. But no, I've gone to council members, and I will point out in times past and even more recently that when something I thought went off the rails, if it's already been discussed already without a whole lot of details, and just to make sure the person is okay, that there was no offense or anything like that, and it's okay to do that, right? That's not a violation. I'll turn to our attorney. Is that a violation if someone hurts your feelings or something?
No, the sunshine law applies to things that are foreseeably coming before you as a
Yes.
governing body, that's right.
Yes.
So technically, no.
Oh, absolutely, right. And so you can. And so I would apologize. I've been the victim of unsigned letters as well, and that's part of what we do as public officials. It's going to happen, and I would encourage any public official here, nationally, locally, whatever the case may be, is that when you engage in public service, which I've done all my life in all kind of capacities, you're going to be subject to ridicule. You just have to be willing to accept that and know that my intent is to serve. And as long as you're doing that from the heart and you're serving, you don't worry about all of the distractions. They're going to come. They're going to come. So, okay. All right. So with that, all of the council comments have been taken. So with that, we got
I wasn't aware
a
we could
workshop
go each
coming.
other.
So if there's
I stay away.
okay. All righty. Okay. So this time, motion for adjournment.
I so move.
Okay.
Well,
Is there a second?
Wait, did I hear you say you was resigning?
Okay, is there a second?
I was gonna
Okay,
make
I
a
was like,
comment,
what?
but you've already had a
I'm
motion on the
confused.
floor, so I'm not able to do
I'm
that.
sure.
Okay.
Say what? What she said was.
Okay, right. Okay, just so that we understand the process, that when we go through and each council person has the opportunity, then we move it, then we adjourn. But if there's something pertinent that needs to be said, then there are some liberties given. So
Yeah.
if that is,
No, I just was gonna make a comment, but the motion went right onto adjournment. I didn't get asked if there had any council comments, so I wasn't asked that. But nonetheless.
I went to each council member and, yeah.
Nonetheless, I'm totally unaware of what backlash you exhibited or experienced. I don't know where it came from, and no one spoke to me. So I really don't know where that came from or why it came in. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, we know that we don't all think the same. We don't all react the same.
That's right.
But we do expect professionalism, as you stated, and I feel like you presented yourself in a professional manner.
Thank you.
There's nothing I have against what happened. It just happens, you know, and we move on. And I had no problem moving on. As the others may have said, you know, they're still referring to my title. I said, my title is councilwoman, and I will continue. As councilwoman is who I am. So I don't know where that came from, and I'm sorry that you experienced that type of negative responses.
Thank you.
Sir.
I don't know, I don't have a clue what's happening. I'm totally lost as to what's happening on your responses, what you're getting, because I'm too busy taking care of my mom.
Okay.
I'm
So then
sorry.
we can conclude that, for whatever heartburn you had to experience, it didn't come from
Oh,
any council member.
Didn't come from us.
Not from here.
And because we know and understand, and we'll close with this, that whenever you're sitting here, you're under oath, so to speak.
That's
You
right.
have to be honest when you're sitting up here. I know they do that in other places higher than us where they're not, but we're honest, and so you're always in a perpetual state of oath, if you will. So, and you hear from each of us.
What does it mean?
This is the first we've heard about it.
I'm scared to call you. I don't mind
All right.
saying that.
Okay, so with that, motion for, we have a motion. Is there a second? for
Second.
Okay, has been probably moved in second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. It is carried. So if we want to take about 2 minutes or so, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we have our workshop following. Okay?
We adjourn?
Yes, we have a workshop in about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay?
I have to light up my torches. These are my kids' assignments.
No? No.
So I had the kids to do them, and we were talking about leadership, Black history. We're gonna let them vote.
If it wasn't politically incorrect, I'd say, oh, you're making it Indian.
Oh, no.
You can't say that.
These were just for demonstration.
Hey, right.
And it has affirmations on here, so.
It's
Yeah.
gonna-
Pardon me for calling you out on that. $111. Okay, that's right. That's right.
I learned a long time ago that you're gonna have detractors. You're gonna have them. Okay. All right.
I picked them up to
Yes.
God himself.
That's right.
And
Thank you.
And when you try to do good, as you know, again, it's coming at you.
I'm not doing it in person.
So that old adage, no good deed goes unpunished.
You need a binder for that? You got a bag?
No, it's written in my bag.
Oh, don't you drop your baton now.
You know they position. Don't worry about that one day. John, look, order. So deal with the ones that you have to carry forward, that's gonna follow you. Keep driving the way.
Thank you.
That's all. That's what it is.
That's right.
Blessings, how are you?
All right.
This is what his birthday is going.
So we'll give it
Thank you.
Oh, that's mine. Mine is I'd like to become better.
I like these better, and then
Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
mean.
I see you got a
the
day
kids,
of
I
prayer
have to
coming
keep
up.
hiding
Is that
them
what
from
you're
my
referring
kids.
to? Come on, the prayer wall?
Good things.
You didn't send me no pictures.
Yeah,
Send
Mr.
me
Winkler.
them pictures.
He has that nice house.
Nope. I ain't getting
Okay,
nothing from you.
all righty. So we'll listen to
afterwards.
you. Listen to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mr. Wingate. You know, we were all admiring him like, I'm about to take mine down and start, nah. It just brings,
I saw you don't let it.
a facelift
Dan
to the
Calloway.
community.
Well, and I've been in construction for a long time. Long time. Yeah, in fact, when I was being built, I was like, okay. And then I learned the 2 bedrooms. I'm like, oh, there's 3. I thought it was 2. And I was like, oh man.
Did I speak back?
You just, yeah, but you were moving on, I just go.
Because I thought when it was going up,
You didn't even know who I was.
then I, for whatever reason, I thought it was an official voice. I said it was 2 bedrooms. I was like, okay, having initials or something. Okay.
And you just didn't recognize
Man
me.
cave.
I said he probably wouldn't recognize me.
Me too, yeah.
We'll have them.
Oh, yeah, I need to give it to Ken to give it to her.
Things are
We
working.
can have them adjusting your AC.
I've been out of town, I went to my sister's. Johnson, yeah.
Okay, just before we get started, can we adjust the
I have
thermostat up a little bit?
spoken to
Yeah, I don't want to see the phone call. We'll go over a couple of things and then we get started. Yeah.
But I have to, I will. I had other things to take care of and I just moved on. But I will.
So it's gonna, for years I've got the whole. I identified one I got. I identified who it was, and I went to the person's house. I've never said anything to the person.
What I was saying, are you and,
Sign it.
man is gonna work with that day of prayer, we're gonna do something?
Yeah.
May 7th, you said it was? National Day of Prayer?
Yep. Thursday the 7th.
Okay, we're going to come together. We have about 30 seconds, so we're going to get started.
All right. Yes. Sherry's going to call you. She didn't already. I just wanted you to speak. Oh, that, I thought you meant the national. You okay?
Okay, so we're going to ask that we come to order. We're going to get started.
I wanted the whole court, all of us in one.
Huh?
I wanted all of us in it.
Oh. So did you mention to the kid about the headshots?
I thought that's what we were gonna do.
We're ready?
You should have said something. Don't be about closed mouth, don't get fed.
Thank you so much. So we're going to come to order. So at this time, we're going to call the Town of Mangonia Park Workshop Agenda Meeting, excuse me, of April 7th, 2026 into session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis Coynes,
Present.
Councilmember Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember McConnell,
Present.
Vice Mayor Buchanan Webb,
Here.
and Mayor Alberry.
Here. Thank you so much. And of course, the purpose of the meeting is to go through, as I stated, a workshop. And this is as it relates to our PP3 or our private partnership. So we're going to turn the floor over now to our town manager, Ken.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, I will be brief and leave you plenty of time for your questions. Mitty is here to correct me anytime I get something wrong. Of course, the idea of a public-private partnership is something I've had to learn kind of on the fly, and I think I speak with good authority when I say that probably some of you are learning as well. So what I wanted to do, you may recall, back a few months back, maybe around, just before Christmas, we did have a couple of proposals. We had a request for proposals out. We got 2 proposals in. It was brought before council. Council decided to reject both, and so now we're just getting back to the point where we're going to reissue the RFP. And as part of that, I felt like it would be a good idea to kind of walk everybody through exactly what a public-private partnership is and let you ask any questions, because there are some details that you should know before you make decisions. So at the end of this, if this is something we still want to pursue, and I'm thinking you probably would, we'll continue with that. We'll get the RFP out within a few days. Okay? So I think everyone should have a document that looks something like this. And if you don't, I'll just read from it anyway. And it states at the top, what are public-private partnerships, and in parentheses, P3 or PPP? Public-private partnerships involve collaboration between a government agency and a private sector company. They can be used to, number one, finance, build, and operate projects such as public transportation networks, parks, and convention centers. Most typically known projects in South Florida are related to housing or public infrastructure. And just kind of off the note there, if this is something council wants to pursue still, we move in the direction of this benefiting our water system, our utility system, because I think most of you know we're looking at major dollars involved there. So potential benefits to a P3, potentially allow a project to be completed sooner or making it a possibility in the first place because of financial constraints or other roadblocks. Roles for the public entity and the private corporation or firm. Public-private partnerships typically have a contract period of 20 to 30 years or longer. Financing comes partly from the private sector but requires payments from the public sector and or users over the project's lifetime. The private partner participates in designing, completing, implementing, and funding the project, while the public partner, that would be us in this case, focuses on defining and monitoring compliance with the known objectives. What are some types of public-private partnerships? And this is straight off ChatGPT or whatever it is. So no surprise there. I found that's the easiest way to get something. So this is straight off that. Build, operate, transfer. A government hands over construction and operations to a private party for a set number of years, often decades or more. After that period of time, it is transferred back to the government. Build, operate, own. The same as a build, operate, transfer, but the private entity is not required to ever transfer the project back to the government. Design, build. A government contracts with a private party to design and construct a project for a fee. The government retains ownership and may either operate it itself or contract out operations. Now I'm going to stop there and just say the beauty of this is this can be whatever town council wants it to be. When you get the RFPs back and you look at it, you're going to be able to basically form your own P3. Okay, you can make it do what you need it to do, and that's just the way that goes. And then finally, buy, build, operate. A government sells a pre-existing project that has already been completed and may have been operated by the government for some time to a private party who will take it over fully. The private party may need to invest in rehabilitating or expanding the project. Any questions so far? No, keep going. All right. For Mangonia Park, this wasn't ChatGPT. I did this myself. Okay? The town of Mangonia's park interest in a public-private partnership would be for the utility system. Water treatment plan, mostly. Okay? Water system components, the water lines and everything involved with that. And here's a biggie too, lift stations and sewer lines. All right. We've talked in recent months, one-on-one, most of you, about the condition of our lift stations and the work that would be needed there. But in fairness, this P3 conversation started because of the water plant. Started because of the idea of the Highlight property being developed one day and us needing to quickly have funds to rehab it so we'd have water capacity for that property. The town of Mangonia Park is looking to upgrade the water plant in order to improve capacity for the existing customer base and to expand the system to provide adequate utilities for future growth. The town's lift stations have age and several concerns with their operational abilities. Our engineers, David with Calvin Giordano, just for the water plant and some of the system components with the water system, we're estimating using, this is not quite today's pricing, everything's changed so much, build out of $50 to $60 million. Okay? Two reasons for that. Number one, it needs upgrading to accommodate other properties. And number two, this system just has so much age on it. Okay? Funding options. And I want everyone to get this, and this is something that is new, is something that we would have to really wrap our mind around. A special purpose entity could be developed using current members of the town council and any other representatives that town council feels would be beneficial to the entity as a governing board. The land of the project is transferred to the SPE, special purpose entity, with the governing body, town council, providing oversight. Funding options per se are as follows. Project finance. The special purpose entity raises debt and equity based on the projected cash flows of the project rather than the credit worthiness of the sponsors. Debt often comes from banks or bonds covering 70 to 80% of the project cost. Something important to know there. User fees, or in other words, water bills. Revenues come from fees charged to users, such as utility charges. Government paid. The government makes periodic payments to the private partner, often linked to performance metrics. Blended finance combines public and private funding to attract commercial capital to socially beneficial projects. This can include concessional loans, grants. We're still going to be pursuing a lot of grants, or guarantees to reduce risk for private investors. Okay? And in summary, this endeavor is completely in the hands of town council. There is a risk-reward factor, and the town council has the ability to put as many safeguards in place as it desires. With no objections from town council, staff will proceed with the request for proposals, which will be a process over the next couple of months. Okay? And finally, on the last page, the RFP is updated from what it was previously and sent out for vendors or organizations to respond within 30 days of the release. There will be a deadline, and the proposers must meet the deadline. A selection or evaluation committee will be put in place to score the proposals and to interview each proposer. And then finally, a non-binding recommendation will be made to town council, and town council will select among the proposals, or, like you did last time, reject them all. And that's my presentation. I'm open to any questions that you may have. I know in the audience we have a couple of folks that may be interested in this if we move forward. But I'm open to any questions that you may have. Or, Mitty, correct me anywhere I got anything wrong, or add to my great presentation.
Your presentation was wonderful. I would just note for the council that the P3 concept is codified in state law, so I'll stay in my lane. Ken, that's a very good summary. And we have this all in the procurement document itself, and will be required, as any other entity is required, to follow the state law requirements for any agreements that come out of a P3 procurement. This statute contemplates both an initial or interim agreement after you put out an RFP and get responses back, so that allows the town to enter into an interim agreement with a proposer and try to work out any additional details that are not adequately addressed in the proposal that is provided. But the more important part of the state law is there are very, very specific and very complex requirements in terms of what must be provided in the actual final agreement. So it's very clear in the statute what has to be in those agreements. The only other thing I'll note for the council is that there are many of these projects going on right now throughout the state of Florida. So a huge one down in Fort Lauderdale that has to do with a water plant, very much like yours. Huge project, many millions of dollars, has gone on for years at this point. But even more locally, the Nautilus 220 project in Lake Park was a P3 project, so that's still in process, but the building's up now. There's a public marina component of that. These are very complex projects, so that's not a word of caution. It's just a reminder that the proposal part of this and the evaluation of proposals that are received, one of the big benefits for the town in this type of arrangement is that the technical details and the financing plans and all of the very, very specific information is created by the proposer, not by the town, right? So the town identifies a need and puts out its RFP and says, this is what we're trying to accomplish. You, private entities, you come at us and you tell us how you're going to accomplish this, how you're going to finance it. You show us your bond ratings. You show us your financial capabilities. You show us the project approach. You show us all the technical specifications to accomplish what the town's intent is. And as you recall, without getting into details about the specifics of the last RFP, there were some things that were mandated in the RFP that were not provided on the last round of responses. So, in putting out another RFP, it will be much like the last document, which says you must provide, and there's a list of things and the level of detail that the town wants. Because as Ken said, this is a $50 to $60 million at minimum project. This is a huge project for the town. You want any proposal that you receive to be sufficient in terms of the level of detail that's provided by the proposer. So we're guided by statute, which is good in terms of what actually has to end up in an agreement, but these are very complex things. And depending on, as Ken said, there are many different types of P3s that you could undertake, but some of the lease terms are 99 years, right? That's a long time to be in a lease with somebody, right? These are very complicated projects. So not, again, a word of caution, but just something to think about as the proposal process does in fact move forward, if in fact it does. So with that, I'll answer any questions now or in the future as well.
Okay. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. So if there's any council questions for our town manager or town attorney, feel free at this time. Any questions or comments? Okay. Okay, while they're formulating their thoughts, now the document that we're going to be putting out, it's just going to be an amended version. We're going to do this, or it's going to. Okay.
It's an amended version.
Yes, it's amended. Yes,
okay,
from that.
So dates
that
and things
version.
like that,
yep.
more applicable dates be changed and so forth.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
And each gentleman in the audience, they're contractors?
Before we go there. Okay. We're going to go there, but before we do it.
Sorry.
And just
okay.
not sure of their backgrounds.
All right. Any other specific questions as it relates to the document itself? Or procurement document?
No, not the document.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty. And of course, so of course, with the town's directives, this is going to be put out there. We don't have a release date yet, but as soon as we make a decision here, okay.
Well, and technically
Or
this is a
directive
workshop, so no
They can't
formal
make
action is
action
happening
anymore, so,
tonight,
yeah.
but.
Yeah, we can sort of give a.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure you understood
Mhm.
all the, because this is a big undertaking, so we wanted to make sure, number one, that we, based on what we got back, we've made some modifications to make sure the document is very clear, to make sure that we're getting responses that are exactly what the town is looking for based on how staff understands the needs, and as Ken said, the engineer's understanding of what you all need. So we made those modifications, and obviously if there's direction at some point, we'll proceed with putting it out on the street just like we did last time.
Okay. Alrighty. Vice Mayor?
So this would be fall under the 3 bids?
It depends.
No, so that's actually a formal solicitation, so that goes out on the street and any number of people can apply.
Okay.
It's not like your lesser valued things where you have to get a certain number of written or verbal quotes. This is actually a formal procurement.
We would hope for at least 3 bids,
Okay.
3 proposals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alrighty. So to sort of segue into where I think you wanted to go, we're going to go to our attorney first.
Okay.
We haven't put this out yet, and I know that from my understanding, we have persons here who may be interested once we put it out. So I'll go to our attorney at this point in time, because it has not gone out. Do we solicit input or at this point in time, or?
I would caution that. I mean, this is a public meeting, it's a public workshop, but I'm not sure. The cone of silence legally doesn't apply yet, but typically at workshops you don't entertain a whole lot of public engagement. So you could do it. This is a public meeting, but I would just give you a little bit of caution there.
Oh, certainly, that was my question as well, that we don't solicit it, but it is a public meeting, so. Okay, so with that, and it is a workshop, and we do have to open the floor to public comment, so. Okay. All right, anything else, Ken, or?
I was just going to say, at the conclusion of this, some of our visitors may want to come up and introduce themselves. They may not, but if they do, that's certainly okay for this meeting. Go ahead.
I would just caution you, if you remain seated on the dais, do not engage in conversations because you are seated right next to each other. So any communications, this is obviously something that is going to be coming before you in the foreseeable future. So be mindful of sunshine there. Again, the cone of silence doesn't apply until a procurement is out on the street, but be careful if you engage tonight in this room.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may, to that point, and this is for our visitors also, once that document has been put out, there'll be one contact person in Town Hall. That will be the town clerk. I'm not going to receive phone calls, questions. Anyone can submit their questions to the town clerk. She can bring it to me, the attorney, to the utility engineer, get the answer and relay it back. But we're all off limits once it's out. Correct.
For behind the scenes conversations, yes. There are certain exceptions to the cone of silence, but generally the way to think of it is exactly that. Once the procurement is out on the street, there should only be communication with the staff member identified in the procurement. There is a Q&A portion of the RFP for questions about the procurement, so there's a specified deadline of when questions have to be submitted, and then the town will obviously provide formal responses in the form of an addendum. But any other communication should not be happening with town council, should not be happening with anybody outside of public meetings is the general way to state that, so that everybody doesn't run afoul with the cone.
Absolutely. Okay. And to be safe, just me personally, I've always considered once it goes out, blackout period. Just don't guess, just don't. Okay. Alrighty.
I want to ask a question about insurance. Can I ask about insurance?
About whether or not we require insurance. Why? So it could be a general question, not a specific question to any person here. So.
Oh, wait.
No.
Okay, all right.
And
it could be a general question as it relates to our document.
Yeah, I was going to ask if
In our process.
insurance will be required and that there'll be a dollar amount,
Okay.
cap dollar amount.
Okay. As it relates to our procurement, the question was whether or not insurance is going to be required from whomever is going to be submitting,
So
and if there's a dollar amount.
That's absolutely a requirement. That's a requirement in the state law that insurance is provided. So yeah, that's a huge component of the actual agreement. That's less specified in this procurement document, but that will be part of the, if there is to be an agreement, a final agreement under the P3 statute, that's certainly required, yes.
Okay. Right, and if there's no other council comments or questions, again, for the record, this is a public meeting, so we're gonna.
No subcontracting with
So so we'll speak to the document itself. So the Vice Mayor wants to know whether or not our procurement includes or precludes subcontracting. And I was trying to think if I read through.
So typically, I'll give you a general answer. I can't point you to the exact page, but generally the way that these work is it's typically a project team who propose. So I don't think there would be a scenario where that somebody wins the award as a prime and then subs the entirety of it out. Typically, it's a collaborative thing because and it again depends on how the town proceeds with regard to what type of P3. But typically, there's somebody who's brought in to do the financing. There's somebody who's brought in to do the design portion. Somebody to do the construction portion. Somebody maybe to do the maintenance portion. So it's typically a collaborative effort. Less of a concern, I think, where you're headed, which is one person wins it and then just subs it out to somebody else. I think that's less likely here.
And I'll be careful how I say this, but it's worth noting, one of our neighbors to the north, they've had situations where they've had RFPs, IT invitation to bids go out, and the proposers have showed up at the meeting bringing their so-called team with them, and that's made an impression on city council. Oh yeah, that person. And then once the selection is made, those subs disappeared. So that's just a caution for council, for what it's worth. I know they've experienced that quite a bit here recently.
Certainly. Well,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. We will put something in writing about that, I'm sure, that can or cannot happen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
all right. Okay, so with that, of course, as with all of our processes and our meetings, it is a public meeting. And so we do open the floor to public comment. As stated by the attorney, if anyone here who may be someone who may be interested in submitting, there can be no response to that individual or individuals. Okay, but we can't preclude anyone from speaking during public comment. Okay.
I just want to ask a question about this document. Is it still due to be revised, or is this the revised proposal?
What you have is the old document. Mitty, David, and myself, we've revised it, mostly Mitty. I'll send that out to you this week before
Okay.
it goes out. So there is a revised version.
Yeah, because I'm seeing this still has September.
dates and things.
Right.
2025.
Right.
Just wondering.
Right.
So for the subcontraction piece, go in there?
It's there.
It should be.
Yeah.
Which page? I guess I missed
11.
it.
Yeah, there's a part in there where the proposer is supposed to identify people on their team.
Okay. So with that, we'll open the floor to public comment. If there's any comment from the public, then we'll take it at this time. Any comment from the public?
What type of comments? Just that you can introduce yourself?
Yes, we do always ask that you identify yourself, your name and address for the record.
And Mr. Mayor, I would just caution, introduce yourself, tell the name of your company, but don't get into the weeds of.
Yeah, and we can't
what
respond to
you're doing
anything,
yourself,
so,
so.
okay.
Good evening,
Good evening.
council, mayor, managers. I'm T.L. Wingate. I'm the owner of Wingate Corporation. I've been around for over 40 years. And if I go too far, you can stop me. I'm the owner's rep on the utilities building for the city of Riviera Beach, along with Brown and Caldwell. I was the owner's rep on Fire Station 86 and 87 for Riviera Beach with Patrick PSA Development. And currently, I've just been verbally told that I'll be the owner's rep on this new city hall for Riviera Beach. I'm hoping to come here and present my team to you. I do have a team, and I'm interested in being a part of Mangonia Park.
Okay, all righty.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, again, the floor is open. If it's about you just want to tell us a little about yourself and so forth, but when it gets into the Mangonia Park, then we have to cut it. But okay, so just public comment. That's okay.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
My name is Frederick James, Palm Beach County born and raised resident. My company is United Hands for Global Impact, where we focus primarily on assisting municipalities and funding their public-private partnerships and bringing strong teams with track record of being able to deliver on time and under budget. Extremely excited about this opportunity to assist in any way that I can. Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, floor is still open for public comment. Okay, floor is open for public comment. Okay, if there's no other comment from the public, then we'll close the floor to public comment, and we're back now with the dais. So with that, no. Did anyone join us? Okay. Anyone join us? Yeah, earlier there was.
I'll answer any questions you have.
She was asking about online.
YouTube.
Anybody online?
No one online.
Okay, all right. Okay, with that, then when public comment is now closed, we're back at the dais to see if there's any additional or final questions or comments that you might have.
I just thank you guys for coming and
Okay.
introducing
All right.
yourselves.
Okay. Alrighty, so with that, if there's no additional comments or questions, and we thank all who attended the workshop, and thank you guys so much for standing by so that we could go through this. At this point in time, what I'd like to do, of course, as we know and as stated, no actions can be taken tonight as it relates to the release date and all of that. But I think if we could at least provide, if there's a consensus that we're interested in making sure that we send it out there so that we can do that.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very
Very
interested.
interested.
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So we have consensus that
Yes.
our
Yes,
intent
very
is to
interested.
proceed? Okay.
I think it's essential that we really look for the financial aspects that can meet our goal of that retrofitting of the water plant and the needed.
Okay, so with that,
process.
then of course our town manager and attorney have heard that we have consensus to proceed, and we'll go through the
Yes.
process of doing so. Okay?
This is very much needed.
Okay, alrighty, so we'll make sure that we follow the process. Okay, alrighty. So with that, seeing that there's nothing else before us for this particular meeting, motion for adjournment
So moved.
Second?
has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. It is carried. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon, evening rather. That's after. So have a great night. We appreciate you. Okay. All right. Thanks so much.